Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I wanted to react to the recent conversation that Glenn Loury and John McWhorter had, where they talked about Obama, Al Sharpton, and some other people. So I wanted to react specifically to Glenn Loury's critique of Barack Obama and John's reaction to his critique, because John seemed to think that probably there was some sort of a hatred behind Glenn, critiquing Obama. There was some hatred, there was some bad blood behind why Glenn seemed to be very hard on Obama. So let's get into the video.
Obama coming in, I still believe, could have created a whole new consensus about what race means in America if it weren't for that a Twitter and a Facebook could magnify what happened with first Trayvon Brown and then Trayvon Martin and then Trayvon Brown and Michael Martin. Trayvon Martin and Michael Brown. Because those things galvanized this sense of race issues being primarily about we black people's relationship to state-sponsored violence, so to speak. And it's around then that Ta-Nehisi Coates becomes a superstar. If it weren't for Ferguson, I think he would occupy a very different place. Not to say that he doesn't deserve what he got, but that changed everything. And it meant that any sense that we were going to think about race on the basis of Obama or anything he said or represented just got flushed. And here we are. And as you and I both know, and you're not supposed to say this, but you and I both know that the Trayvon Martin story was nothing like what we were told back then. We both know that...
Right, and 2012, if I'm not mistaken.
2012. More people know, but just don't want to talk about it, that Michael Brown, that story was nothing like what we were told. And so in a sense... it's tragic that those two boys are dead, but two hoaxes ended up forming the basis of what is now considered the proper woke conversation.
What's this guy do with Obama, excuse me?
Meaning, it distracted from what could have been a whole new mood about race. I think we were on that path in 08 and 09. And then in 09, everybody gets on Twitter and Facebook. It was those years. And by 12, something can happen in Sanford, Florida, and it becomes a national phenomenon that no one would have heard of outside of Sanford, Florida, if it weren't for the new media. And that's also true of Michael Brown. It just wouldn't have had that impact. Nothing but roughly Amadou Diallo had that kind of punch of that sort until then. And so I think that it distracted America from thinking more sensibly about race. And instead, everybody started zeroing in on this, frankly, overwrought and often exaggerated version of what goes on between black men and the cops. And it ruined what Obama could have done culturally in that way, even as a symbol, I think.
And by the way, have you gotten my crime fiction novel, which also features a very, very interesting debate on race and colonialism? You can get it on Amazon, and the link is in the description below. So please get my book to support this channel, and thank you. So let's get back to the conversation.
Now, you and I are going to have to agree to disagree. Rather than seeing it as a constraint on the great possibilities of Obama, who's hamstrung by the unfortunate occurrence of these technological and political events, I see it as a failure of the former President Obama having been presented with an opportunity to lead the country, not just to perform his shtick, to lead the country in a time of peril. By standing up for law and order, he should have done that. He should have given Trump-like speeches about people getting their ass off the street and into their homes, about them attacking police officers. We're going to find out who you are with facial recognition. We're going to hunt you down. About them looting and arsoning, there's no excuse for it. When the stepfather of Michael Brown stands on top of a car and says, "Burn this bitch down," the president of the United States should have been seeing about having him indicted for the incitement to violence. He should have told the country and black people what they needed to hear after Freddie Gray, you didn't mention, in Baltimore and so forth and so on, which is that there's no justification whatsoever for your contempt for civility and the rules that allow all of us to live here in this great country together. I trust the institutions of government and law enforcement in this country, the president should have said, because I'm in charge of them. Rather, he hemmed and hawed, split the difference with these mobs around courthouses, said stupid shit like, if I had a son, he'd look like Trayvon, which is blatantly false. No son of Obama would have looked anything like the Trayvon Martin that you and I know about from Joel Gilbert's expose of Trayvon Martin. He sent Al Sharpton out as an ambassador to Black America. Well, a huckster, an ambulance chasing anti-Semite. This is what Barack Obama did. He sent Eric Holder to try to clean up the mess because although there was no hands up, don't shoot truth, they were going to find a poetic truth in the systemic injustice of Ferguson, Missouri, which begs the question. So, no, Obama had an opportunity to lead the country. No, he wouldn't have been written up in the scriptural references of the woke. He would have been vilified for being a black conservative if he had done something like that. But the country needed a black conservative. Why bother electing a black man to the highest office in the land if when he gets there, he's going to perform the same shtick that any hustling political operative who claims to be representing black people would perform? I offer you the post-presidency of Barack Obama as evidence for the case that I'm making. Absolutely vapid.
Are you about to mention this 60th birthday?
I don't have to mention it. Everybody knows he and Michelle are billionaires. Everybody knows it's all about Netflix deals and whatnot. Everybody knows where Martha's Vineyard is. Everybody knows how connected he is to the very people to whom he was appealing. Our time has come. Can't you remember those posters? Martin Luther King's photo here, Barack Hussein Obama's photo there, and the caption being, "He had a dream, now the dream comes true." I actually lived those years. I remember what that phony-ass campaign was about. So, sorry, but that's how I feel, okay? So now you know.
Now Glenn, this is a genuine question. You accurately sussed out that in me there's a little bit with Eric Adams of, I don't know if I would want him over to dinner. Why do you hate Barack Hussein Obama so much?
See, you know, if you're watching Glenn for the first time and you saw this interaction, it's easy for you to come up with the impression that, yeah, he has to hate Obama for him to have said these things about Obama. But I don't think it's hate. This is a pattern that I've seen with Glenn. When he talks about things that he's passionate about, he usually goes this route. So when he talks about people like Ibram X. Kendi or Ta-Nehisi Coates or some other persons, he basically talks this way as well. So I don't think it's about him hating. I don't think he hates Obama. I just think that he has strongly held opinions about how Barack Obama's presidency went, and it has nothing to do with his person. It has nothing to do with any vitriol or any hatred towards his person. And I'm thinking that John should understand this. I mean, John has always been talking with Glenn for years, 14, 15 years, and he has been in more than one occasion where Glenn talks like this about people. So I don't know why he feels that Glenn sort of hates Obama, but let's hear Glenn's response to this.
Do you really think that he's a canny operator? Is that really the type of person he is? Isn't he a little sober for that? Isn't he a little bit the lawyer?
I think he's...
Is he really that cynical?
If I come further along the line that I've already laid down for myself, I'm the only one that's going to get hurt by it. Barack Obama is untouchable. Nobody gives a damn what I say about him. And in fact, your very question, which is not a refutation of the argument that I made, but rather an ad hominem reference, why are you saying these things about our great Barack Obama?
I didn't ask that. I said, what are the things about him that elicit this level of contempt? Because it's...
John, you said, why do you hate Obama? You're changing the question, you are modifying your question. Well, it's allowed, so let Glenn answer it.
Seems like it's a little bit more than anything he did. Is this genuine?
I mean, I'll just repeat myself. He ran on the historic campaign. He made the thrill run down Chris Matthews' leg idea that there was going to be a black president. It was Kennedy-esque Camelot coming.
Well, he was.
He wasn't.
He did symbolize that.
Well, he symbolized it, but he wasn't.
Because how was Kennedy more X than Barack Obama? Kennedy wasn't that good.
Well, here's what I know. I know that when he began, he had controlled the Democrats of both houses of Congress and of the majority of state houses. I know that when he left, Donald Trump was getting ready to be president, they lost control of everything, and the Democrats took a bath in half the country. That's what I know. I know race relations got worse after the first black president was appointed.
That was Twitter and Facebook's fault. I truly believe that.
I think it was a failure of leadership from the top, in part. It's also a consequence of that. I made the case that I made about if I had a son, he'd look like Trayvon. Al Sharpton? I'm sorry.
Glenn, it's because you are more of a contrarian than I am. When Obama said...
I don't think Glenn is more of a contrarian than John. I think John is even more of a contrarian than... In fact, I think that John is just as conservative as Glenn, but he does this thing when he's with Glenn. He tries to be on the left of Glenn, and I think it's so that the conversation is balanced. But I've seen John McWhorter with other much more left-leaning people, and he is so conservative. He goes so much to the right of those people. So I think John does this thing most of the time where he does a balancing act. He doesn't want the conversation to be so skewed towards one direction. So naturally, he will just take the position opposite who he's talking to give the conversation a much more balanced feel, which I do like a lot. But he's not ready to admit that he's very conservative. But I think John is just as conservative, and is even much more of a contrarian than Glenn himself, because I can tell pretty much where Glenn stands on many issues. But with John, it depends on who he's talking to. If he's talking to someone who is much more conservative than he is, he's going to try to go much more to the left. If he's talking to someone who is much more left to the left of him, he's going to go much more to the right of that person. So that's what I think about John in this instance. So that's the conversation. Tell me what you think about this in the comment section below. Tell me whether you agree with Glenn that Obama bears most of the responsibility for the worsening of race relations in America during and immediately after his presidency, or with John, who believes that it was the rise of social media that made race relations to just go the way it has gone. Anyhow, until next time, remain awesome.